out every single Garten of Banban plushie, and we're gonna see which one looks the best. So let's go ahead and open up this massive package, and let's see who the first character is gonna be. And it looks like it is gonna be the Opila bird. And this one is actually made by YouTube's. And this plushie does look really good. But now let's see how this character looks against the one from the actual game. They actually got the colors completely wrong. Opila bird is much more of a pink, and this is a lot closer to purple than pink. Her wings are not blue, they're purple. So already right off the bat, this plush is extremely not accurate. If it wasn't for that, this plush would honestly be pretty perfect. But let's go ahead and see who is next in the package here. And it looks like we got Bitter Giggle. And now this plush looks phenomenal. I absolutely love how they did this plush. And to be quite honest, I think this is the perfect official plush for Bitter Giggle. I really don't have any complaints. But now when we compare him to the bootleg Bitter Giggle, it is night and day which one is the official one. The color scheme on this guy is completely off. Like, oh my goodness, there's so many problems with this plush. Not to mention, they don't add all the little bumps that are on his head and his arms. It's just completely smooth on this plush, which just makes this plushie extremely inaccurate. Let's go ahead and see what's next. And this isn't a plushie. We got another Garten of Banban blind bag here. So I guess for whatever reason they were thrown in this big package, but you know what? Let's go ahead and open it up. Hopefully we get a rare character, but we've already completed the set, so I'm not that worried. Oh, we got a rare one! We got Sheriff Toadster. And the one minifigure that was in there turned out to be a rare one. Let's go ahead and get to our next plush, which is Captain Fiddles. Now, I'm not gonna lie. Originally, when I first saw this plush, I thought the color scheme was completely incorrect. But honestly, he does look exactly how Captain Fiddles looks like in the game. And you can actually only find this plush in the Garten of Banban mystery plush boxes. And one thing I will say, I do really love the material on this plush. It's very squishy. It kind of reminds me of a Squishmallow plushie. The one thing I really wish they would have done, which they still possibly could in the future, is make different color variants of Captain Fiddles, because he isn't just this color in the game. But now when we compare him to the bootleg Captain Fiddles, we can tell night and day which one is the official one. I mean, on the bootleg, his eyes are popping out of his head and his mouth could be done a lot better. Let's move on to our next plushie here, which is Opila bird. Now this Opila bird looks way better than the one from YouTube's. I mean, look at this, guys. If it wasn't obvious enough, this is definitely the best official Opila bird plush. This is exactly how Opila bird looks in the game. It's just perfect. And again, they make these plushies out of like this super like soft and squishy material that's just so nice. Let's go ahead and move on to another plush here. And who do we got? We got Nab Nab. Okay, now this plush, although it does look great, it is not perfect. For one, Nab Nab has a black party hat, and the one that he has on in this plushie is a white one. And also, Nab Nab in the game is a much more darker blue than this plushie. I mean, when you compare him to the bootleg version, at least the bootleg version is the right shade of blue, and he is wearing the correct color party hat. But other than that, this one would be perfect if they would just get the colors right. Moving on to our next plush, it actually looks like it's another blind bag. How crazy would it be if we could find another super rare minifigure? That would honestly be pretty crazy, but I don't know. I have a feeling we're gonna get like a really common one. Let's see who we got. And we got Stinger Flynn. Another really great minifigure, but unfortunately, he isn't rare. And let's go ahead and move on to our next plush, which is Banban, my least favorite character in Garten of Banban. And now this plush also isn't perfect. The one thing I really don't like is I don't like how they made Banban's shoulders. It just looks like he's sitting like that, and it honestly just doesn't look right. And also his arms are not supposed to be like a noodle. He actually has a little chunkiness here in the game, which they did a really bad job on this plushie trying to recreate that. And I actually have a bootleg Banban plushie sitting right next to me. He's right here, but this is a different variant of Banban. Otherwise, eyes that would compare them to each other. But if they were to fix his shoulders, maybe make him a little bit more of a darker red, this would honestly be pretty much a perfect plush. And the next plushie is, it looks like it's Jumbo Josh. Now this plush is another U2's plushie, and this one actually looks a lot better than how they did Opilabur. This one is actually accurate, and this one actually does look like Jumbo Josh. They honestly could have made him a little bit of a darker shade of green, and maybe if they would have gotten his eyes a little bit more accurate, that would be perfect. But I know all the U2's plushies, I believe they have this really unique look with their eyes, so I'm really not gonna count that as a negative. I mean, especially when you compare him to a bootleg. Oh my goodness, where do I even begin with the bootleg plush? His teeth are like flying everywhere, like they're not even in his mouth. They're just like hanging out. It's not a good look. All right, let's go ahead and move on to another plush. It looks like we got Sheriff Toadster. And honestly, I don't give this out very often. I only gave it out really 1 or 2 times today. This plush, again, is another really solid one. They are really nailing these plushies. I mean, they look phenomenal. I mean, the color scheme is perfect. The plush material is great, just like the others. I honestly don't really have any complaints. And the crazy thing is that the bootleg version of Sheriff Toadster honestly looks so similar to this plush. I mean, there doesn't really seem to be much of a problem with him. And let's move on to our next plush, which is another Jumbo Josh. And now, if we're going for a game-accurate plushie, this official Jumbo Josh plush is probably the most game-accurate that you will probably ever see. I mean, look, they even did his arms right. They didn't make his arms correctly on the U2's plushie, but that's just their style of plush. You want game accurate, you need to get this one. I mean, everything from his face to his eyes to his arms to the shade of green that he is, everything about this plush is perfect. And especially when you put him up against the bootleg Jumbo Josh, oh man. It's pretty obvious which one is the clear winner. And it feels like we got like one more plushie left in this massive package. Let's go ahead and get it out. Who's it gonna be? I wonder. It is Stinger Flynn. And now the one thing I absolutely hate about this plush is where they put the tag. I get it. I don't know where else I would have put it either, but it just looks weird sticking out on the side of his head. But yet again, another extremely game accurate plush. But to be fair, I feel like it would be pretty difficult to mess up Stinger Flynn as a plushie. I mean, I even really like the bootleg version of Stinger Flynn. I mean, the eyeball probably could have been done a little bit better, but the one thing that I really do like on this one that the official one does not have is that they added wire in his tentacles here, so you can actually bend him. You can actually bend his little arms around like that and put him in unique poses, which I honestly really like. As for my favorite official Garten of Banban plushie, it's honestly really difficult for me to figure out which one is my favorite because they all look so good. But it would more than likely have to be Bitter Giggle. I'm just in love with how this plush looks. It's honestly perfect. If you guys want to support the channel, make sure to go to tirearcade.shop. I got a bunch of merchandise for sale on there, everything from stickers to mystery plush boxes. And this is pretty much gonna wrap up today's video, guys, and we'll catch you guys next time.